Yo, welcome to Benchwarmers, a Woso podcast, episode 44, part 3. Part 3. We don't usually get to part 3s, but it's a big week. We've had some Woso around the grounds. We've had some big stuff. We had the Euros on. So part 1, if you want to watch us do our end of season awards show, we covered the Feminile. Part 2, we covered the current Woso goings on, the NWSL and the under 19 women's Euros recap. Hope you enjoyed that too. Had a lot of fun recording that. But last but not least, we're doing it again. We do it every week. It's contracts, extensions, rumors, and retirements. We're going to start off in the NWSL again. Manaka Matsukubo signed to Chelsea to 2031. Yes, Chelsea, you have Hamano back, you have Matsukubo, you're building the triple threat. Who's next? You get Tanaka next week. I think that would be a pretty good trinity. Do not take Fujino or Hasegawa. I swear to God, I will end you. But Matsukubo, is she ready for the WSL, Leggy? Let me know.
I think why get Matsukubo when you have Hamano already in your ranks? I don't understand.
It's a different position, though.
No, they're both 10s who like to drift out wide to the left. They're both quite good at scoring goals. It's just
Hamano can play both sides.
Hamano can play both sides, but if we're looking at the actual style of player, I think that there are a lot of similarities. I don't understand why go for this player. I understand why, when we can talk about a bit later, the Reme Lukta signing, they need a 9. You know, they've gone from trying to get an A grade to, an elite or world-class player to an A grade to now probably around a B grade. I don't think that Manaka is a B grade player. I think she's quite A. I think she's quite A grade. I think that it'll be very interesting to see how she works. Could it be a Fujino-esque move where we don't actually think that she's like a breakout star, but rather kind of embeds her way through the team? You know, it takes her 10 to 15 games to really get going, and then she just goes on a run. Maybe she has great output, 5 goals, 4 assists in 9 games. Like, this is a player who actively knows how to score a goal and actively knows how to impact a game. I just think that Chelsea are double tracking on somebody that they already have. Why go backwards on a player who has no WSL experience when you already have someone like Hamano who has the experience, you sent out on loan and did a job with Tottenham, can come back with something to prove?
Well, I'm shocked myself, to be honest. I thought Matsukubo was older than she is. Yeah, she's younger than Hamano. I was about to say Matsukubo is more experienced, more mature because she's had so many years at the Courage, right? She's been there for 4 years.
Yeah, but
she's been playing first team football since she was 17,
exactly.
Which is insane. But like, I do now agree with you. I was going to say like Manaka's got the experience. She's got like more experience at the top level. I mean, look, Hamano has been grossly treated by Chelsea. That loan deal was a bit of a slap in the face. And also, I mean, I think the slap in the face was the fact that she smoked the US women's national team. She smoked the Asia Cup. She smoked Australia in the final with a banger and a half. Even my parents know who Hamano is. Like, when my parents don't watch enough women's football, if any at all, unless the Tillies are playing. So, I mean, that's what happens is you get known as, the girl who scored in an Asia Cup final. She's more than that. She's an amazing player. I don't disagree with you now, but I also think it just provides extra depth. They've lost a lot. They have lost a lot. They needed a Guro Wrighton like cover, and I do think it is a different player. I think Matsukubo can play more on the left than Hamano can. Hamano is the right-sided player because she cuts in, but she does play on the left for Japan, so she can play both sides,
which I do. She played on the left against your lot, like in the city game.
No. She played on the left against our lot, but she played on the right against your lot. She can do everything. She's an unbelievable player. I think it's just Chelsea rebranding itself to a different style of football that is, I don't know, not Sandy Baltimore, not Joanna Ritting-Kana-Reed. It's not, I can't believe I've said her government name, JRK. She's not Guro Wrighton. Like, I said this at my training for my soccer club, and I say this really bluntly, in that Chelsea needs to get rid of the Emma Hayes cancer in the club, which is all the players that are still riding that high of what they were and playing off what they were. And look, I like JRK. We're going to talk about JRK's move to Lyon. We can talk about it as a parable together, because JRK's move is ridiculous numbers. But then all these Chelsea fans are so happy she's gone because her numbers aren't great, which means you either don't watch football. I'm sorry, like to me, like JRK, if you're going off GA, you're an idiot, because let's be real, everything goes for the 9 in the Chelsea system. Everything went for the 9 in the Emma Hayes structure with Sam Kerr. Everything went for the 9 under Myra Ramirez. Everything went for the 9 under both of them. This year they didn't have a 9. That's where the issue lied, right? And JRK was asked to be someone that she's not, where she's a facilitator, and everyone's saying, oh, it's just another Eula Brand. Yeah, maybe, but also there's less jeopardy on her to smoke the Arkema, and she will smoke the Arkema because she's built for the Arkema, the speed and the transitional nature of the football that Lyon play against the run of play, because the defenses they come up against are a bit less miserly than the ones of a Calcio or a Bunz. But JRK for Matsukuba, I think that's a net positive for what the WSL is offering. I think JRK in a different team, in a different structure, that's not Sonia Ball, that's not, sadly, Hayes Ball, in my opinion, as well, is good. I've heard Leggy say JRK come to Arsenal as a joke, but also like it's not really a joke. I think she would play well for Arsenal. I think her and Stina together as that Swiss link up would be great. JRK even at City, if Carolyn were to leave, would have been a good shout as well, especially under Jeglerts. I would love to see that too. But JRK is gonna do what Eula Brand did. I think you aren't going to start over Diani. Yeah, you're not going to start over Diani. You're going to play in the league when she has Champo. You're going to play in the league when you get closer to Coup de Feminine finals and stuff. But go drop triple the GA in a league that will allow you to, instead of being mistreated by a fan base that clearly didn't respect you in the first place.
And the problem with Chelsea is, I understand they want to diversify their portfolio of players. The inclusion of someone like Manaka, as well as someone like Kumano, who has been a part of the fabric of Chelsea since the Emma Hayes era, but is really only being bedded in recently, as well as the signing of potentially someone like Reme Lukta, is diversifying your portfolio. You're looking outside of it. But what happened the last time they tried to do this? Myra Ramirez has not been successful. And there have been a plethora of players.
That's harsh.
There have been a plethora of players who came to the club expecting success. Yes, they may have gotten in the domestic treble winning season of the invincibility. That's great, but you follow that up with one of the worst follow-ups to a championship season that you could, maybe not on ladder position, but on purely playing football. And yes, I think that ghost of Emma Hayes past is a problem for Chelsea, but I think not facing the reality that there is somebody at the helm right now who needs the buy-in of so many players who is not getting it right now, which is Sonia Bonpastor. I've already predicted it. I don't think she'll last the season. If she does and they don't win the league, I think she's out. And I think when she goes out, you will see a genuine effort by a lot of these players to really start focusing on where they want to be, and that's why I think Lucy Bruns was
Wow, you really think they just don't want to play for her? That's insane.
It's either they don't want to play for her, or they don't want to play for an institution like Chelsea, who is not going to kind of facilitate the Sonia Bonpastor transition. It just hasn't been.
But now the monopoly is broken. I do agree with that we've opened the door for everyone else to decide that Chelsea aren't necessarily the oligarch anymore.
Yeah, but
like
players came to play Sonia Ball. And if Sonia's not even allowed to play her ball, then what's the point of the Ali Carpenters?
But Matsukubo is Sonia Ball. The speed, the pass, the power.
If she doesn't get the success,
Sonia Ball.
The institution gets rid of you, and then they're left in this purgatory state of the next coach might not even want me. Like, what coach
I can't believe I'm running defense for these Blues, by the way.
I know,
but I knew this was going to happen.
It's an example of that. I don't think that every coach would want someone like Sandy Baltimore playing for their side. I just don't think that that's a reality. I think it is for Sonia
No,
from her
I
store
I
side.
think Baltimore was a mistake. I do agree with that, and that's one signing I will say. I'm not going to say Myra Ramirez was a mistake. Myra Ramirez is was an injury crisis this year,
Yeah,
and
they're
the
all
year
injury
before.
crises this
No, but
year.
the year before, she was part of a domestic treble. She smoked your lot. She smoked my lot. She's a big game player, and if she's fit, she is
She
a
doesn't want to
very
play for
complete
Chelsea. It's
striker.
pretty obvious. She doesn't
What?
want to play. She's pretty obvious she
No, no,
doesn't
no,
want to
I
play for
agree.
Chelsea.
Mentally, where she's at right now, I don't know if she's a Chelsea striker. No one's offering her anything else. I don't know why Real Madrid, who have just lost Fella, aren't offering Myra Ramirez a
might.
massive contract. I mean, imagine Myra Ramirez, Linda Caicedo. That would be the most disgusting front to Colombian link up.
Schroeder,
Craziness. Yeah, with Schroeder. Oh my god. I'd actually be scared of Real Madrid in the Champo, which would be hilarious for me when I call them Barca's little shadow. But ultimately, I do think there is going to be a lot revealed about Chelsea in the coming weeks, but the back line is solid. The front line is the question. Matsukubo will bolster their stock. Is it enough? Probably not, but I think Sonia is relying on the return of Myra, a form hike from ABJ, which is warranted, and a player like, I don't know, a player like Baltimore just playing left wing instead of left back. A player like AT, who I can't believe I'm hearing I've seen Arsenal fans online saying AT is better than Liv Smith, which is crazy.
I don't know where you run in these circles.
That's
what is
wild.
the dark
No, that's
depths
just
of
X
the
circles, man. They're like, oh, AT had a better season and she's just a better footballer than Liv Smith. I'm like, wow, you must be American. You have to be an American like Arsenal fan. Like, there's no way about that. But if we're going to talk about Arsenal, I mean, do we just talk about one, or do we just do we just do all four?
Yeah.
The four of the 7 Horcruxes. I love Arsenal fans that go, I mean, wait till we get Lisa Baum and then we get Salma and then it's a perfect window.
Yes,
what a load of bullshit.
That is what I'm saying.
It's already a perfect window.
It's a perfect window, but it could be better.
I can't believe, Leggy. I like don't get me wrong. This is a great meme. I was expecting Abbey Road, like the Beatles, walking across the street, and all 4 of them are there.
I don't know who I would attribute.
Let's order them out. So let's order them out from most exciting to least. We've got GS4. I mean, I thought it would be Stanway 31. We got Georgia Stanway as a centre half, number 4. But Stanway, Ona Battier, Geraldine Reuteler, and Selena Arsenal Schiller Searchy. All right, rank them in terms of how excited you are for them.
Ona Battier, Georgia Stanway, Selena Searchy, Geraldine Reuteler. Easy.
That is, I mean, I knew the answer to that. I just needed that in
KCC,
verbal
you're
writing.
done,
But that's
mate.
also
You're
that's
done.
also, in my opinion, that's also like the level of. Oh no, not actually. It's second because it's. I would say, in my opinion, I think Stanway is the best player.
Yeah, sure.
I'm more as a rival fan. I'm much more afraid of Georgia Stanway. I'm actually slightly afraid of Selena Searchy because if she is what she does in the Bunds, in the WSL, which, again, there is no player more physically talented from the Bunds that is more primed for WSL ball than Searchy. But this owner signing it was coming. It was obvious. She looks very good in an Arsenal shirt, scarily good in an Arsenal shirt. Did you see who she did her
own PR? I'm sorry, side note, our announcement videos, corny and tacky, I love them.
I cannot believe Arsenal fans are eating this up.
That's
Mate,
terrible,
what,
but I love
you know
them.
What's funny? It's not even AI. It's not even AI.
It's human slop. It's pure from a human brain put that shit into the world and was like, we're going to announce Georgia Stanway through a tattoo artist. Anya Battier is like a surfer all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. Selena Searchy.
Come on. Compare that to how good Sam Coffey's piano, like Alexis Sanchez moment was.
We did the piano, Ben. We did it with the drums.
Yeah, you did it, Alexis. No, you did it with Alexis.
Yeah.
But where are the musicians at? Why do you have no more musicians?
True, we have a fucking song. Why don't we have the music? Anyway, all I know is that Anya Battier did her own announcement video on her own Instagram, and it looks 10 times better than our own one that we probably paid for. Like, that's mental. Anya Battier, I love you.
It's insane. Yeah, no, I mean, she is playing left back. I love even some Arsenal lineups where they have Anya at right back and Taylor Hines at left back. I'm like, guys, are we high? Like, are we cooked? Are we not playing? What does the fox say? Like, what are we on about? But
Love the number
yeah,
choices, by the way.
Cal
Geraldine.
Dente, you are not getting Salma Paralelo. There is no way.
How do you know? How do you know, Ben?
Because she's gonna go to PSG. She's gonna go to PSG. It's not. It's actually not worth it for you to get her. I actually don't think
On that
she
left
suits
side,
your style.
Ben, we need it, Ben. On the left side, we desperately.
What do you mean? You have Searchy.
Yeah, but so she's better on the right, and it's pretty obvious that she plays better on a 2-up system.
Does Liv Smith not play on the left?
Yeah, but then we need cover. Like I'm sorry, I'm just
Liv Smith, the best player who ever plays for a contract in her life, KF MBE. She needs an MBE as an Australian, an Order of Australia medal. Caitlin Ford behind.
Caitlin Ford is so redundant now. I'm like so over it.
And then Roytela can play on the right. Roytela can play on the right. I mean, I wouldn't, but Roytela can play on the right. Yes, you don't have Mito anymore.
KCC has a bigger chance of starting than Caitlin Ford currently does. I genuinely believe that.
I mean, depends. I don't know what the KCC of this season will entail.
I hope that I think KCC is done. The signings just proved to me that there is an obvious doneness to this.
Ian Wright, where are you right now? I need you to smoke this girl.
But
what about Jenna? What about Jenna Nicewonger? Is she just
thing. Jenna Nicewonger, come back to the. She's already back. We haven't sold her. Like we usually.
Also, you have the backup striker. So you have the backup striker in Ajamang. You can play Russo in the 9 if you really need to. Stanway can play further forward if you need to. Roytela can play in the 10 and the right. Selena Searchy can play anywhere in the front 3, which is what I like about all your signings is the versatility of all 3. I think the answer to your backup left winger is not Salma, it's Lisa Baum, right? Lisa Baum is the backup.
Chloe Kelly though, and I think Chloe Kelly
and Kelly, yeah, exactly. We didn't even, but Kelly's more right-sided. She isn't a left-sided.
No,
player.
but her assists are coming from the left side. Like that's where we saw her assists coming from last year. Her Stina Blackstenius assist in the league when she started, which I think is important. This whole super sub.
That was the right side, Leggy.
That was on the left side, swinging in to the right side.
Oh no! I'm thinking of the other assist.
No,
that was she did one on the right. Remember the one where she passed it along she was on the byline. That was the right side.
I'm thinking of the one where she showed.
Sorry, there's so many moments of Stina and Kelly together. Yeah. It's Bergkamp and Henri. You know, the two of them. But you have enough wing stocks that you don't need. You don't need £1 million dropped on a player who. You have to work on. You have to tame. You have to. Ben. She's also her mentality is anti-Arsenal. It's anti-Arsenal.
I don't agree with that. I think that's such an easy cop out to say that a person's mentality can't be shifted by the environment that they're in. A lot of players have come to Arsenal with a mentality that's been dissimilar to the philosophy that we have, and yet it's pretty obvious.
Give me an example of one.
I'll give you an example. I think that. Come back to me.
Yeah, I mean, the only player I'm thinking of off the top of my head from, again, you were an angry rambunctious side. The Miedemars and the McCabe's, you were that angry side. So I don't have an issue with those players. The difference is the culture shift with Renee post Jonas has meant that you have this different style of football that's aggressive, hungry, but that commands a level of respect from the opposition, right? The only signing I can see that is almost anti-Arsenal in a way of the last 2-3 years is a player like a player like Emily Fox, where you had to make sure that
probably the best example.
No, but Liv Smith, we all knew that.
She came off the back of smashing Katie McCabe, smashing her, completely taking her out, and then coming to the Arsenal. But
that's what. But Arsenal's mentality is at all costs, no desire to lose. At all costs, even if we're 3-1 down against Lyon, we're gonna fight till the very end. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna do it. Right. She is. When I say mentality, I'm not saying the way that they go about it against Arsenal. I mean the qualities of a player that make a player enticing to Arsenal is, in my opinion, yes, Salma does have that match-winning capability and give the ball to me and let me win this game, which is very Arsenal. But the way that she's spoken, the way that the agent is speaking about her fees and her numbers is like she wants to be the main player.
We've done it with the men's
let's
side.
be real,
We've
at
signed
Arsenal,
players in the men's side who have been particularly obstinate when it comes to like other teams coming, and then they've been particularly like quite audacious. And look, they may have left on bad circumstances. I'm thinking of thank you anniversary of the 2014 signing of Alexis Sanchez, but like those players do the work. And you mentioned do or die, but really what I think of when I think Arsenal mentality is family and thinking about the team as being more than just yourself. Olivia Smith
yeah,
came,
but that do you not think that Salma, the way she's going about it,
this
isn't
idea
that?
that you can't actually mold a player around the team.
But why risk $1 million on a player that you have to put the effort into?
I don't even rate her.
Because she's not better than Liv Smith. She's not better.
I don't
£1 million
rate her, but
to not start is insane.
I think she does start. I think she does start. I think it's
so you're saying Liv Smith wouldn't start?
No, Liv Smith on the right, and then you have
so you've spent all the money on Searchy for her not to start.
That was always going to happen. That was always going to happen.
I find that insane. I think that's insane.
More club mentality from Ben here for the Manchester City, because you sign players for them to start. We sign players for them to bed into squads. We've signed $1 million players.
You are further along in the evolutionary tree of what it means to be a big club. I'm not denying that. I just think Salma is if you get her, regardless, it is an amazing signing. It's an amazing move, and it means that I would say it's the best WSL transfer window of any team ever. Honestly, it's genuinely like the most lucrative, the most dangerous, the most scary. Even the 4 that you have now is enough. Like you are front runners to win the league. If you don't win the league with this investment, it's a choke, in my opinion. I think it's a choke.
I agree.
Yeah, there is no turning around. You're the one who's telling me that City are looking to retain and they're going to look to go for more trophies and quadruple. No. Arsenal are going for a quadruple
for City, by the way.
No. But you're saying like if you were a City fan, you would be shilling them till the time is gone. I'm not that. But Arsenal, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be I have to command.
But we're bringing in players that have never played in the
double
WSL
minimum.
as well, so.
Like it has to be a double minimum.
Half the players
if you get knocked out,
haven't played in the WSL, so that's the argument against that. That's what I'm saying. Like you can say that we should win the quadruple, sure, but like you're bringing in players like the Niamh Charles signing that was confirmed today are playing in the WSL, so you should be able to retain it because the players you're bringing in.
No, but Niamh Charles is a backup left back. That's you're saying like let's be real. Like I mean, you said we don't sign signings, we sign signings to start. No, Niamh Charles. This is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of we've signed 2 players who aren't going to start, which are Beth Mead and Niamh Charles. The problem is we can't spend, I don't know why, but we can't spend the big money on a player like Salma Paralluelo because she doesn't fit our team. We don't need that. We have Lauren Hemp, we have Fagino, we have Carolyn for the time being. We'll just talk about that in a second. But it's, I don't know. I find it antithetical, to what I deem to be the chemistry and the structure and the known, in my opinion, the known hierarchy at Arsenal that I think is very clear but very beneficial to the players, right? Like there is no jeopardy over, like, yes, you can say the KCC in the broad scheme of things. Would KCC have changed the outcome of the season and what you had this season?
There are a bunch of players
No. There is no player in your team from last season that got injured. Maybe Katie Reid. Maybe Katie Reid is the only one where I think, okay, maybe that would have changed a little bit. What?
No, I was thinking about the players that could come in next season. Michelle Adjaman, if she doesn't get injured.
No. Yeah, Adjaman is an impact player and can do those little big moments, and that's fine. That you are primed for a double, a treble, a quad, as you would say. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm just saying that Salma Paralluelo is a bonus. It's not a need. We don't need Salma. We don't need.
I just do think we need a left-sided winger that's going to be consistent for 25 games in a season. I think that's
so interesting. It's so interesting. I think you have.
Caitlin Ford is not going to do it. I don't think Chloe Kelly is going to do it, and she should be able to do it because I think Chloe Kelly is a better footballer right now than Caitlin Ford.
But Smith can play on the left side, and you have so many right-sided players.
But why do we need to have Smith on the left when she can play on the right?
Because her best goal your best goal of the season was her on the left side. Her best moments of the season in the WSL are all on the left side. Yes, her Champions League. I mean, I told you that I said that the best moment of Liv Smith's season was in the 9, right?
Yeah,
So
I agree.
if you're going to play a different structure, you could play a 4-4-2 with Russo and Smith. You could play Stina and Russo, and then have it be a right mid, left mid style play. I don't know what Renee is going to go for, but there are so many. The versatility of your team is disgusting. In my opinion, you don't need a midfield 3 if you have Stanway and Caldente. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to play Kim Little if you have 2 of what I consider the top 5 midfielders in the world. That's how I would structure Arsenal in a 4-4-2. If they were going to play that in possession of the ball, play a 4-4-2, then you don't need that left-sided winger to bomb up the line and be that bombarding maverick, because then Mariona can get further forward. You can clamp teams in and strike heavy. And I hope you start better. I hope you start the way you ended last season. That's probably the hope. And so we don't have a situation where Leggy's having heart attacks by December about Anna Patton and having nightmares about Arroyo Ball. But that is all we can talk about Arsenal, other than Leah Valti, who has confirmed her move to Hove Albion. I'm so gassed. Valti derby, Kirby derby, City Brighton now have our own like rivalry based on the FA Cup and the Haley Ball game. Like I love what Brighton are becoming. Vidicic is a future Matilda's manager in the making. I'm so here for it. Vidicic is getting better and better quality players. I think Valti might manage Brighton by the time she's finished with Brighton.
I believe that.
Yeah, that's what I think is the next solution to that as a whole. Naomi Feller has made the most lateral move in the history of world football, but it is I am impressed with PSG, to be fair. I am impressed with PSG because, I mean, this is more Menso coded, but I always talk about that Thierry Henry the interview he was on CBS, and he was talking about how to fix PSG, and he said, get the French players back to PSG, and you will see the success. You will see what happens. And they did it. They brought Ousmane back. They made the academy signings. They had Desiree, and now they're this amazing side.
They got rid of the best fucking French player as well in Mbappe.
Yeah, but they got rid of the non-Parisian French player and brought in the Parisian French player who united the fan base instead of PSG fans who hate Mbappe, right? PSG fans, I wonder what they think of Romeo Lukta now. Probably now a bit rose-tinted glasses after an amazing season, but also now soured by the fact that she's linked to the most Dutch club in the WSL in Chelsea, in my opinion. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're Arsenal are probably the most Dutch club
historically.
Historically Dutch. No longer Dutch. After the Viv, I think you will never sign a Dutch player again.
Victoria Pelova fucked her off to.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened here. But Fella is a ball. On her day can win matches. Yes, there is a learning curve with a player like Naomi Feller, but bringing the Parisians, the quality Parisians, back to Paris Saint-Germain is always a correct signing. Always a correct signing, in my opinion. And I'm actually excited because you know what? There is no, I rate Feller the way I rate Lukta. I think Lukta is more clinical, no question about it. But Feller, the blueprint is Lukta. So she can learn how to mold her game to clips of what she's done. Yes, the outside of the box stuff is not going to happen, but the inside running, the curves, the finding positions, her body positioning when she scores goals, when she's on fire, she is running like she sometimes I'm watching her when she's on form and she's on fire, she does give me Salma vibes. So I'm telling you, and that's not like an insult to Salma. It's not necessarily a compliment to Fella in that way, because it is raw, untamed, athletic power. But if Paulo says, it's not Paulo Cesar, is it? The PSG manager, he's the hat boy. He wears the hat. He always wears a hat. What?
Is it Abraham?
No, Abraham got sacked. Paulo Cesar, thank God I'm right. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Yeah, he got brought in May 2025. He came in, he did a decent job. He was the guy I said was like Brian Sorensen. He put his hat over his head when they were losing to Lyon in the finals, multiple finals. But Fella, I think it's a great signing.
It has been 2 years, only 2 years, and PSG are trying to be Leon again. This is such a Leon-esque signing, not necessarily the player, but the type of player. I think that you talk about lateral move for Feller. I think this is lateral for PSG. I don't think that it's an upgrade
Oh, it's not an
from
improvement. Yeah,
Lukta,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that you
No.
can build that front line around Feller. I also don't think that the central striker role, if Rome Lukta was moving anyway, then yes, it would have been a problem you would have had to fill. But PSG are not making the signings where I think that they should be making them. Fullbacks are a big issue, especially if they're going to stick to this 3-5-2, this five-back system. Then they need to be getting more equipped fullbacks for that. I think the spine needs a lot of work, especially when we look at the games that PSG lost to. Of course, we're thinking of Paris and Lyon, the two big games that you're going to play in the season. It has been a midfield battle that they have lost a majority of times. You can have
True.
the striker that you desire, however you like that striker to be, Selma or Fella or whoever, but there needs to be a foundation and a core there that can support that. And I don't think that PSG are building to that, but it is in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. This is PSG. Like this is
Yeah.
Menso PSG. Like where we learnt nothing. Like this is fine, because in 20 years' time, PSG will win a Champions League once they've recalibrated really what the expectations are of both the fans and the institutions and the players. It's like there needs to be an alignment. I don't know if there is one now. I don't really know the mentality of PSG fans, but I would presume it's success domestically beyond just that of the
It
European.
needs to be back where they were. It needs to be back in finals and right wrongs. Look, it's an interesting realm. It's an interesting position. I hope she can be a top scorer in the league. I hope she can be the next Katoto. That's the goal, right? That's ultimately the goal, and she needs to be that player.
It's just the type of football that Fella will bring in, that Salma will bring in, which is just, again, Leon 2.0, pseudo Leon.
Yeah.
It's just be different. Paris have done it. Be different to your opponents, and you'll actually get some success.
Yeah, a team that's being different to their opponent is Aston Villa is being different to their opponent. They are working the transfer market. I'm actually very impressed. Keelan is a ripper signing. She will score goals. She will have a good patch. She'll be assisting players, especially that new front three that doesn't have Salmon anymore, Leggy. Did you see Salmon has gone West Hammond? That's what it is. West Ham, I love
you and your stupid signings. Please keep making them.
Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine Kadena plays the ball, long ball into Salmon. Salmon runs in, hits the post, bounces back. Zellem also skies it. Guarino ball at its finest. But Keeland is a good signing for Villa. I don't think Villa can do much wrong with the signings that they've put through. Yes, they're losing Jenna. They need Kendall cover. If Kendall's going to move at some point, I think Keelan could be a genuine a genuine bolstering of that midfield that was already decent. I don't think it wasn't a terrible midfield by any means, but obviously they need a Hansen replacement, and maybe Keelan can reminisce some of the goals that Hansen got. I don't think she'll get 12 goals, but she might get 5 or 6, and I'm hoping Jean-Francois, who's is a permanent, or she's gone. Yeah, she's permanent, and that will mean that they can build that midfield three through them, and obviously having a player like Miri Taylor, who can play deeper. It's exciting. It's all exciting. Good things are happening for Arroyo Ball.
I mean, I think Aston Villa have probably underperformed everybody's expectations, but in the transfer window, they're always doing something. So I guess the difference or the disparity is you bring these players in, and we've seen it for the last couple of seasons. They have had bigger transfer windows. I kind of want that to actually transpire and actually have meaning in the season, because I think that really letting go of someone like Jenna Niswanger, basically you're starting fullback at the end of the season, and someone quite influential, is silly. I don't know why they didn't sign her permanently, whether there's some sort of bigger plan to sign a true elite playing full black. Like I don't know why they didn't sign Jenna Niswanger, but this move is great for multiple reasons, one of which being the most important that we've mentioned on the podcast before, teams looking outside of the top leagues and the top kind of European clubs, and onto players that are a bit more underrated in their sides and can do a job for you when you need it and can fit the system.
I'm excited to watch. I don't know, Villa will Villa ever get to like that found glory of the Daily days? I don't think so, but I don't know. That team, what was the highest finish? Was it third? It was third in the they got fourth or fifth. Yeah, but I mean they finished third, but this is like prehistoric. They're not like 2011-12 ball doesn't count.
Liverpool were winning the league, guys.
Yeah, that's Matt Beard.
Yeah.
Matt Beard Liverpool era. But yes, that fifth Rachel Daly ball team was quite impressive in 22-23, but I mean,
Brighton
obviously
have really
the
taken
mountain of,
over that
but it's more about the mountain of goals that they need to stop. I mean, yes, I think their back three individually, the players are decent. Maritz is decent. Patton is fantastic. Roebuck or D'Angelo, whoever you want to put in goal, fine, but they need to have good cover. Wilms is a good creator, but her work tracking back is just very much Dutch right back. Let's be real. But I mean, no Niswanger. They need someone on that left side. They just need to not be the second worst defense in the league. They were 4 goals away from being the same as Leicester, which is just not good enough. And like, look, they score goals. That's not their issue. Their issue is being able to hold on to leads. And that back end of the season, I mean, they copped probably maybe 40 of those goals, right? Like, I reckon there was that run of games from our game against them in December, the 6-1, all the way through to February, where they lost 7-3 to Tottenham, the iconic game, where that just can't happen again. But we will move to Tilly Watch. Jamila Rankin has made, I would say, slightly upward trajectory move, but also puts her in the same position. I'm sorry to say this, Jamila. I love you. You are my favorite left back. And I think Torpy is great. And I think Torpy should start ahead of you just based on like legacy for the Tillies and how she's been playing for them. I think you're a better player than her. I think you're a different style of left back to her. But you weren't getting enough minutes at Hoff, and I understand that, and that's frustrating.
What's wrong with 19 matches played at Hoffenheim? Like, that's pretty good.
No. Like, she started in 15. The end of the season, she got brought back in, but I'm saying there was that middle patch of form where she was injured, but also. Yeah, wasn't like her best moments were in the early parts of the season, in my opinion, and I think it tailed off.
Coming from victory,
no. Like, don't get me wrong, but you are going to a top 3 club. I'm excited about that, and you're going to be playing with better players. My issue is she's not going to be starting.
Yeah.
I knew so Nina Lerschen is an amazing footballer. She is a fantastic left back. She's arguably one of the best left backs in the league. Like, we've talked about the left back itis. It's Janu levels, it's her, it's Ket. Yeah, that's the 3. And Jamila, I want her to play. The question is, Frankfurt, if they have Europa, whatever's going on next season in terms of a secondary European league, maybe she'll be part of qualification games, maybe she'll be used in cups. But Jamila Rankin to Rasso on the whip is exciting. I like that.
Won't happen.
I like.
And that's the problem.
Well, you think Rasso's going to go?
No.
Or Rasso's not going to get the whip?
No. Well, yeah, exactly. But I think obviously something is happening within Frankfurt where they must hate the Matildas because they're buying them and then they're going to play like 5 games a season, because this is what happened last year with
Rankin is less of a volatile like commodity than the Rasso of it all.
I understand that, and it's a less with the exit of Chiba, I guess both of those two now have one less player to kind of come up against. Rasso now is second to whoever's on the right, and I think Jamila Rankin will be second to whoever's playing on the left back. But I think both of these moves. I think Jamila Rankin. Look, I understand she wants to stay in Germany. Obviously, Hoffenheim didn't offer her an extension on her contract. I am just so glad she didn't come back to Australia. Stay in Germany. You've obviously, built a foundation around this German style of football that does require a lot from its fullbacks, a lot of up and down work. And I think that Jamila Rankin is very good at that. But she's also a good lockdown fullback in ways that maybe we haven't seen from the Ali Carpenters, the Torpies, those types of fullbacks in the Australian system. So she does fit the European ball. I just hope that with Rasso they get more time in the team.
Yeah, mate, I think they can work together very well. I think Jamila needs to work on that overlap game. She was doing it really, really well in the start of the season, but then clearly loss of confidence and that kind of stuff. Didn't really have the Asia Cup that I thought she could have, especially with Nevin out. I thought she was the next in. Obviously, Torpy was amazing, so it's just the luck of the draw, right? But look, I mean, Frankfurt lost Anyomi. need another Tilly, maybe, you know? Holly Mack,
Yeah.
Rass,
I was thinking
Jamila.
Holly Mack for Brighton, but that was
Yeah,
my
I mean,
prediction.
I said in my recent personal TikTok, I'm here for Holly Mack to be the
CB,
backup
yeah,
striker
yeah.
to Bunny Shaw. You know, I'm here for that. Like lateral move, it'll cost us virtually nothing because it's the same team.
That's not how
And
that
it'll
works, but okay.
feed down. What?
That's not
It's
how
no,
it
no, no.
works.
But it feeds downwards into a team that I care about. Like you have to
Okay, sure.
understand that. Like what do you mean? Do you remember when City bought Savinho?
Yeah, but that's different. It's not like Melbourne City won't get, like, Manchester City won't get Holly Mack for free just because she's in the City
No, no,
system.
no, 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 no. It's not free, but it's a heavily discounted fee.
Okay, sure.
100%.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously also she's like chosen to like she's out of a contract,
Yeah, I know,
right? Like so
it's
it's a free. It would be a free. But also there would be a clause in the contract that means that money funnels to Melbourne City, which is I'm happy both ways. Both my teams get the benefits of that. Now we are going to jump into manager moves which are basically only in one league, which is hilarious. Rossatini not at Roma. Insane. I get
The
it.
parted ways. I don't think that they sacked him. I think he's going for something bigger. I really do.
What is
I don't
bigger?
know what the offer. I don't know what the manager.
What's bigger than the
group
biggest
chat
club
on
in
WhatsApp
Italy?
is going off right now. But all I know
Yeah.
is that it might not be in Italy.
This feels like Italian mafia stuff
I
right
think
here.
it's a bit.
I think
Maybe. Okay. Look, my
someone
idea
made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
is that someone made him an offer that he couldn't refuse, whether that be outside of Italy, maybe that's the Italian head coach job. Like, I don't know what it is.
He's
but
got a name of the next FIFA director. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
He's Infantino's
he's doing the
right
World
now.
Sevens
Rossatino.
director. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Arsene Wenger's seat at the World Cup permanently. But look, I still think Roma need someone. Roma need definitely a manager similar to how Juve have acquired Isaac Guerrero. I mean, Isaac Guerrero is I mean, I've looked at he's also another sports psych, worked with Barcelona. He's had good history working in youth academies and systems and structures, very technical director kind of vibes. But maybe that's what Juve need. Juve are trying to build a new dynasty. They've gotten rid of Girelli. They've gotten rid of the old Tambach, and they're trying to build a new dynasty. I think this is a long-term signing of a manager that's going to do it.
Yeah, and I think that at the end of the day, the real problems for Juve were the manager. I don't blame any of the players because I think that you can't expect to get injured. You can't expect to lose your best player. But what you can expect is there to be managerial change in relation to what the biggest strengths of your side are. And Juve had a system, and it was the system of their previous manager. And Leo Volti spoke out about how that was detrimental to the style of play that they wanted to play, both in Serie A but also in Europe. I'm hoping Guerrero is able to accommodate more for the strengths of this side, which are obviously at this point right now defensive. And I think that's sitting back and maybe even playing on the counter because they haven't signed big names in the forward line. They haven't gotten those big names yet. And so unless they start making moves with the introduction of Guerrero, maybe he starts and that process, it would be very interesting to see what his style is. But again, I hope it's to the betterment of the Juve system and the best players there.
Yeah, and then obviously Sassuolo coming in at Inter.
Napoli
I
head
mean,
coach.
that's
he was Napoli.
exactly. I mean, that's the same parted ways for who was it? Piovani. So Piovani was like, that was my shout for like who could have been the manager of the season. Obviously, he's probably looking for bigger and better things. I don't know what it is. Clearly, these Italian managers think they're like the next coming of Ancelotti or Conte or something.
Mourinho.
And they just Guarino. Mourinho. Yeah, the famous Italian leggy.
No, the Roma situation, him being at Roma. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I was mentioning Italian managers.
I know, but I was
yeah.
thinking of the Italian managers.
What's his
of
name?
the time.
Arrigo. Is it Sacchi? Is he
Yeah,
Italian?
yeah.
The famous
Yeah.
Italian Milan manager. Yeah, Arrigo Sacchi. Maybe they all think they're Sacchi ball. But to be fair, they all play Sacchi ball. So
Yeah, true.
I'm so here for them to have the arrogance of a former Calcio manager. But I think that's all we have for managers, or do we have one more?
We have one more very controversial pick. This is Willie Kirk being signed by Dunham. You might remember Willie Kirk was
Yes.
the Leicester coach, left in disgrace for having a inappropriate relationship with a player. This is a really,
Interesting.
really bad look for the women's game,
Yeah,
especially
why?
with especially with what's coming out
Well,
from.
not why is it a bad look for the women's game? Why did they sign him?
Exactly.
Sorry, I need to make that
Look, I think Durham, and you know what, Durham has been really favorable for a lot of people in England right now because of the way that they've been building up this women's team and this women's first kind of footballing mentality. This is a massive slap in the face to that. More so the fact that this guy is like quite obviously a person who was disgraced in their previous job, given a second opportunity because we can't afford to give men all these chances. What happens if something happens, Ben? These poor men. What happens if they're out of a job? Oh my god. But no, this is really, really terrible, and is endemic to, I think, a problem in the women's game where we take I think the allegations of coaches and really the relationship between coaches and players, not to the degree that they should be taken to. And I think, and this is my own opinion, I think because we haven't had the reckoning that has happened in other sports, especially when I'm thinking of what's happening, yes, in football in the States, or even in what happened in gymnastics, and like a lot of these things that are prevalent within the European football sphere, because there hasn't been that big reckoning, quote unquote, these things just aren't taken as seriously, and thus Willie Kirk
100%.
can keep his job and
Yeah.
have this big job.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. But again, like, it's just these positions of power. Like, again, I want to. This is something I wanted to talk about with Isaac Guerrero. If you look at his profile and the way that they announced him at Juve, and you look at the website and what they say, the first thing they write is he's a UEFA Pro license holder, and it's like, I understand that UEFA have monopolized the capacity of what it means to be a great manager, but like the whole monopolization of the pro licensing and who can do it and who has access to it and the amount of money it costs to do all these things means that you will never have the best managers always at one time, because a license doesn't make you a great manager. No offense. Like I'm sure Viv and Steph Horton and all these people are going to be good managers, but it's not because of their licensing. It's not because of their work with UEFA. It's because of what they know they want to bring to the game. And yes, I'm sure they're learning more on how to talk to players and how to build management structures. And I'm not dissing the entire system itself, but the system is being built in a way where the best managers in the world are basically chosen by a myriad working pool that they get thrown around and passed around like a bong, because ultimately that's all you have to choose from. You have the people who are licensed and the people who are not, and you're going to pick the people who have the accreditations rather than the people who don't. And look, the best manager in the world, in my opinion, I mean, is Emma Hayes. And like, I'm not going to go into the Emma Hayes of it all, but I'm not going to say Emma Hayes is the poster child for goody two shoes of what it means to be a manager, because she's not, and all the players know it. All the stories of what's happened and why Emma Hayes is currently in America right now, is probably all because of situations that occurred a while ago. And obviously I'm not comparing Willie Kirk to the Emma Hayes as much as that is a albeit insensitive, slightly like humorous, like quip, you can say. But the problem is that these managers, I don't know, Starjic, like these moments in football where they talk about misdemeanor, misconduct, mistreatment, cultural aspects of teams that go wrong. International managers, it happens a lot more as well. I mean, we've spoken about the myriad of problems that have happened in smaller clubs. Yeah, exactly. Jill Ellis, huge issues, right? This is based on like superiority. It's based on this like
the lived reality of these players, and I know that.
But it's material. It's this like pseudo bullshitty like European Eurocentric supremacy that exists with, oh, how good are you as a manager? Oh, I won this. How did you get to win this? How did you win this? Oh, I had the licensing. Because all the managers have the accreditation in the men's. It's not even a question. But not all the managers have the accreditation in UEFA Pro License A for the biggest of big positions. And I don't know, it feels a bit more like a gatekeepy like endeavor.
It's dehumanizing. You're taking the very real reality of people. Like, these are humans, and you're being like, no, 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 they're managers. No, they're footballers. No, they're humans, and they've done something wrong, and thus should be, like in any other workplace, reprimanded. And in this case, imagine you're a doctor and you have a relationship with one of your patients. You're getting barred. Like, you're going somewhere and you're not going to be able to be a doctor for a while.
Unless you're in Grey's Anatomy,
Unless you're in Grey's
unless it's literally like reality TV. But maybe that's what they think it is. Woso is like its own realm.
No, it's because
and
Woso, we do humanize these players. We literally
Yeah, but it's
strip them
it's
of their
elite
human.
sport. But this is not just Woso. It's elite sport.
Yeah.
You can get away with doing
Yeah.
criminal,
Arsenal
pseudo criminal
held
activity.
a rapist for like 6 years. Like, I think
Hey, Arsenal, PSG, all these clubs. I mean, like Marseille. Marseille is
yeah.
its own realm of rubbish and racism.
you have an allegation,
and all
go
that
to
stuff.
Marseille.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I don't know, the manager of Marseille that welcomed him with open arms is now at Tottenham. So like, like this is what I mean, is that the pseudo progressive nature of Woso falls on its back when the institutions are built for rich people, built for the people who've done it the longest, and usually those people are the men, because they slide over from the men's game to the women's game, and they have and you look at Guerrero and you look at his stats, and his stats are amazing, and I don't think Guerrero is an issue. I think it's a great appointment. The problem is, why was he appointed? He was appointed because he worked with Barcelona. He was appointed because he had a pro license. He was appointed because he has this bat of experience that female managers never had the opportunity to. And like, it is just this self-fulfilling cycle of men in this position of power that they've dominated for years and years and years. And that's why the Emma Hayes of it all is an interesting case study, because she is considered the best, but also has her own track record of things. But managers, we could do a whole manager hour, to be honest, and keep going, but we might leave it there. We're going to talk about Aggie Beaver-Jones and Lucy Bronze, both extending their stays, one for an extra year in Lucy Bronze, because, I mean, let's be real, she could have stayed till 2030. Let's be real. Lucy Bronze doesn't really lose form. We spoke about it last week. But Aggie Beaver-Jones to 2030. Aggie 30 is, that takes her to what age, Leggy? 27? Is that 27? Yeah. How old is she now? She's not, is she, oh, that's a good question. Is Aggie Beaver-Jones older than Kyra Cooney-Cross?
I'm gonna say yes.
Aggie Beaver-Jones is 22. Kyra Cooney-Cross is
older Kyra.
24.
Yeah,
there you go.
wow.
There we go. Kyra is older than Aggie. So Aggie to 2030 takes her to 26 years old, which, look, we all knew she was going to stay. She ain't going anywhere. She lives and breathes blue. She's basically an octopus at this point, and she bleeds blue, and she will be there forever. I just never saw her at a different club, unless she's not getting the respect, but she is going to get the respect, because now that Sam is gone, I think there's no question about where her position should be.
Well, it's on her now, and I think we mentioned this the last time we talked about Aggie. It's about what she prioritizes in her game, and it's about how she will imbue herself to this Sonia system, whether that's a slightly changed system to the one of last year. I presume it will be, given the lack of success. But I think that with the World Cup coming up in 2027, she will want to have a good season and really want to prove to Serena Wiegman why she should be the starting, or at least the second striker for the England team.
No question about it. She needs to be the next. She needs to be the one. Like, it's her and Ajamang. That's the fight. We're going to go into rumours. Fiamma Benitez, a player that we've shilled and absolutely loved. She started the season so well for Atleti. She was close in my team of the season if Atleti actually held their form. But Fiamma was everything right with Atletico. Has been linked to Courage and Liverpool. By the way, both of these teams, hands together, I clap them both. Amazing call. Go, like, I think, okay, firstly, Courage need a Matsukubo replacement who is older. And that answer is Fiamma Benitez, a player who can put her team on the back, can play a bit further forward. She doesn't have to track back as much if she's playing for Courage with two defensive midfielders behind her. I think I don't know if she's NWSL ready, but it'll take a few games. It'll be like EJ. It's a different intensity. It's a different level. It's a different vibe to the Liga F, especially with the amount of fans, the players, the energy. I hope she if she goes, amazing. Liverpool, on the other hand, it's a more natural, like, lateral move in the sense of like no, but in terms of like the position on the ladder where they are, Liverpool are not 11th on the ladder. Like, yes, I know they finished poorly at the end of the season, but the turn of the year, if you look at the ladder, it's much more flattering
like
to Liverpool.
9th.
Yeah, exactly. If they get, I don't know if they'll get Petamors, but if they got Petamors and Fiamma, they have Beata, they have Mia Enderby, they have they have Enderby,
Enderman
Enderman, and you'll never walk alone in the end. But it's like it's a very good, like, it's just another good player to add to their ranks that alongside, I mean, the problem would be that does Denise O'Sullivan play deeper, or like, I don't know if that's the solution that they want, because I think DOS was fantastic in the 10 and the back half of the season. They have Nagano, but also what you could do is you could go Nagano, O'Sullivan in the 8, and then Fiamma there. You play Olsen up top. You have Enderman and Enderby. You have someone like, I don't know, someone really talented on the bench, like I don't know, they kind of ended the season really poorly, which is quite disappointing.
Super sub, what's her name? Shaw.
But
she's really good.
Zara Shaw's decent, but you also have I always forget her name, not Kapox, Bernabe, who played it. Yes, she played deeper at the end of the season because they had a few injuries, and Bergstrom as well. But they do have a good spine, and I think Gareth Taylor would work well with a player like Fiamma Benitez, in my opinion.
I think it's a bit idealistic. I think that the NC Courage move is the natural move for the type of player.
I think it makes more sense.
I think it makes more sense. I think Liverpool and I think the WSL would be a really tough challenge for someone like Fiamma Benitez. We didn't necessarily see her perform exceptionally well in the Champions League as well. So I think for the type of player that she is leaning into that more mature age player. I think that she would prefer the NC Courage move because you have the accessibility to do the things that you are best at, and that is something that the WSL does not always afford players, particularly from Spain. We have seen that players coming from Spain, players who play more of the Latin style of football, have had to give up a lot of things. And we've really only seen the ones be successful when they're basically like 25 and under, because they've been able to shift their style of play or rely maybe more on their fast, explosive pace. But Fiamma Benitez is not the fastest player. She's technically gifted. I can give her that. And I think that she is quite good with her final third ball playing, but I don't necessarily think that Liverpool would need her as much, especially with the type of player that they've been going for in the market. I think that this is a younger, more interesting and exciting team rather than somebody like Fiamma Benitez, who I think would maybe slow them down.
I cannot believe you said that she was bad in the Champo. I thought she was great in the Champo. I thought she had some really, really solid games. I think, yes, obviously, okay, when they play against a team like Lyon, yes, they're not going to win. But the team she came up against, yes, the United game, poor.
And that's the team that you're going to play in the WSL, United.
Yeah, no, that's true. I do agree with that. But St. Polten smashed. Twente smashed. Juve smashed. Bayern Munich, they drew 2-2. She was fantastic in that game. Like, she definitely has the ability to play at that top level. She even got calls up for Spain, right? Like she's not you're competing with a lot of players in that position, in the 10, in the 8 kind of vibe. And I don't think she would. Well, she wouldn't rise. She wouldn't not try and rise to the challenge in the WSL. I agree. The physicality of both leagues is going to be tough for Fiamma, regardless, because she's not the fastest or strongest player.
Have been able to play better in the NWSL.
Yeah, of course. I think. Oh, you think they're better in the NWSL than they are
by numbers? Yes. I mean, there's only been maybe 5 to 6 Spanish players who've actually been able to do it in the WSL.
But I don't know. I think currently nowadays, I think of the recent moves that are Spanish.
Is anachronistic. Anya Bassier is anachronistic. These are not the players that you compare to Fiamma Benitez.
No, but I'm not. I'm saying, like, I don't know, Leia Alexandri, Leia Uabi. They're players that have come in.
Players in the back line.
Yeah, no, but okay, players that come in and still do a job. I am not saying that they have to be the same players, but just Spanish players in general sometimes do translate well in technical teams. And I think under Gazball, I think the fast transitions and the chances she'd get at the edge of the box, which she loves, she would get, because they play fast fast transition football, and Gareth from the Skies will help her out to be able to get into those positions. She has a knack for rebound goals as well. On the other side, Julia Bartel, rumoured to Juve, Valti replacement. Probably,
and much needed, especially if they want to start rebuilding that spine. I again think that you need to start building that front line more so than the midfield. I thought that the midfield for Juve was okay. I don't really expect midfields to be like exceptional in the Italian league, but
no.
I think Bartel is a great move. I think that's not a lateral move in my opinion. I think that that's actually a genuine attempt to gain some 20-22 games a season form to be able to be available for your national team and be able to play in the Champions League, etc.
No, 100% agree. It's I don't know. It's a decision that's, I don't know. It feels a bit like half-hearted, but I also think that without they're not in the Champo this season, so they're going to be trying to fight for those domestic runs. This is another player. Why did they think she was 26 years old? She's 22. It's like, I think it's a good signing. If she's young and hungry and wants to, I don't know, she could easily, I don't know, she's a player that's been rated by a lot of teams. I genuinely think if she keeps going, she could bring Juve back to their former glory. She's a very, very talented footballer from distance. Oh my God, some of the shots you see her score are fantastic. She has that Spanish whack and a half, and I love that. And then the last one is our left back goat, Janu. Levels, Real Madrid. Wow.
This is like, if they don't get Ket, then they'll get one of them. That's basically what they're listening to the podcast.
They've basically played Bayern's hand. They've said, okay, you're going to play hard with Ket, which is hilarious. We're going to up the levels. We're going to go to your rivals and offer them what they need, because they need a left back really fucking badly. And Janu, alongside, look, I think Janu is better than Olga, in my opinion. I know Olga's not there anymore, but Janu would be the best left back they've had in a while. In terms of their new signings and how it matches up to that back line, yes, they don't have Misa. Yes, they won't have Rossio, but they still have Navarro. Holmgard is still there. And they'll have Levels as the front one with Holmgard as the backup. I think that's more than capable now.
I agree. And I think that if we look at the two teams, Bayern or Wolfsburg, who would be in a worse predicament if one of their players left, it would be Wolfsburg. If they lost
Wolfsburg without Levels, oh my God, geez, the culling is begun. The culling is over. Bayern are past the days of losing a single player and having it be an absolute disaster, in my opinion. I think also Frankfurt were probably the worst of that kind of realm in terms of losing individual single players back in the day. But speaking of Frankfurt back in the day, we are going to move to retirements. We're only going to talk about one retirement this week because it is a huge retirement. It is a player. I actually have my kit here. I have my Lyon full signed 21-22 jersey, or it's 22-23, and in the corner we have her signature right there, DM10, Jennifer Marajan. This player was playing in Al-Qadisiyah. She has just retired. For anyone who doesn't know Marajan, look, there is a lot to go through. I think we're going to try and speed run a bit through it. But basically, she is a player who has Hungarian descent, has family from Germany, grew up in German football, German youth football, started her youth career in DJK Beerbach, and she played for the boys team. We're talking like 2003, 2004 here. She then moved to Saarbrücken, who got relegated, but she made the DFB Pokal final in 07-08, lost to Frankfurt, who 5-1 in that game, but Frankfurt ended up doing the domestic treble. But DM10, in getting promoted to the Frauenbunds, debuted as the youngest player to play in the Frauenbunds. So when we talk about the youngest players in respective leagues, obviously Lauren James was the chosen one, 16 years, 30 days old, 2017, playing for Arsenal of all teams. Hilarious. Marina Giafinco, Feminile's youngest ever player in 2024 at 16 years old. Vicky Lopez, who's going to be one of the best players, in my opinion, debuted for Barca at 15 years and 41 days old, which is unbelievable. Willa Pearson in the dub recently this season was 14 years, 316 days old, and me and Leggy spoke about the 14-year-old Willa and what it means and what it's structured for. But mate, Marajan, DM10, she debuted at 14 years old in 2007, and 7 months later, at 15 years and 4 months, she was the youngest goal scorer in the league. They won that Frauenbunds too in 08 and 09 to come back up. And it's only in the Arkema there's been a player, she now plays at Porto, Angelina da Costa, was 14 years and 4 months. But still, I rate the Bunds higher than the Arkema anyway. But 14 years and 7 months, the Angelina da Costa one was in 2017. This was in 2007. So way before her time, yeah? And I'm going to be real. We're talking about a player that genuinely, so Hungarians call her the Legnagyobb, which in Hungarian means basically the greatest. She is like on the Mount Rushmore with the Puskás, the Alberts, the Szoboszlais, like the best of the best of the best Hungarian players. In fact, her trophy cabinet is better than all of them, nearly combined, to be honest. She is, in my opinion, the best attacking midfielder outside of Alexia and Aitana. I mean, if you count Aitana as a 10, but I genuinely think she is the best attacking midfielder I've ever watched play Woso. And yes, she is reminiscent of a time where Woso goes, oh, well, Woso wasn't developed yet. She is one of the few players where I think her ability genuinely transcends the generational dynasty, the gap, everything, because she played through all of the dynasties and was just elite in all of it. So she went to Frankfurt at the wrong time, sadly, because that's when Turbine Potsdam did their quad dominance and Frankfurt ended their domestic run of skill. But she did win 2 Pokals, DFB Pokals, and the 2014-15 Champions League. She won against PSG. She was good in the final. She wasn't amazing in the final though, but no goal contributions. But in every knockout stage game she played in the run to that final, she got a goal or an assist. She got a goal contribution. She ended that UWCL run as the top assister with 8. Yeah, so she already had a Champo to her name. She'd started playing for the German national team. She was cooking in some of these games. She was a part of the 2013 Euros side, which was amazing. But then we move into the 2016 Olympics, where she was unbelievable. She was so good in that final. This is a pitch with Sweden versus Germany. You have a pitch of Stina, Schellen, Seeger. You have Sylvia Need's Germany side that has Pop, De Brits, Mittag, Heggering. Heggering was amazing that tournament. I think she ended up with player of the tournament, but Mittag and Pop were actually poor this tournament. There's class all over the park, the best of the best of the best of the best. And who gets the opener? Marajan, edge of the box, top right corner, smack. Own goal against Sembrant. Whose free kick was it? Marajan. 2-1 win in that final. All Marajan. She was player of the match. She was unbelievably good. But then her magnum opus of her career is Leon. Leon, 5-time UWCL winner. 4 of them with Leon, 7-time Arkema winner, 4-time Coup de Féminine winner, 2 times Champion Cup winner, 3 times Player of the Year in the Arkema, 2017, 18, 19. Her first 3 years in the Arkema, she Temwa Chawinga the entire league, right? She managed only 3rd in the Ballon d'Or, which, I mean, I think is just ridiculous, but it was behind Ada Hegerberg and Pernille Harder. And if you ask Ada Hegerberg why she won that Ballon d'Or, if you ask Sasic why she was amazing in her time playing with her, or anyone who played behind Marajan in the 10, why they got so many goals, why Ada ended up with 96 goals over 3 seasons, it's her facilitation. It's her space occupation. It's her that commands the respect. You can go through the list of 2017. She was in the Champions League final, played 120 minutes, scored a pen in the final, player of the match. 2018, played 120 minutes of the final, every minute of the UWCL win, scored player of the match versus Barca in the quarterfinal first leg with the opening goal. She's an opening goal player. She's not the third or fourth goal. She's the opening goal. In 2019, she played 90 in the 4-1 Barca win. Who gets the opener in the 4th minute? Jennifer Marajan. 2020, she gets subbed off for the first time in a final. Impressive. 87th minute. They won 3-1. Who gets the opener? Jeannie Lesomer. Who got the pass to assist? Marajan. 2022, she didn't play. That's when the injury happens, the iconic ACL injury of her career that changes like the facet of what could have been for Marajan, really. But like, we're talking, just if we're going, get away from the stats, get away from the history, her goals, her facilitation, the strikes from deep. I genuinely think behind Spitzer is probably one of the best dead ballers in Woso history. Her dribbling, oh my God. Players don't press her. Players don't get near her. She's tall. She's got like, I don't know, she's got that gene of Viv Miedemar about her where she's lanky but technically gifted. She's actually, I think she's better at dribbling around players and schooling players and making look players a mug with her like flair and tricks and skills. Like there's something completely like, I don't know, Riquelme about her. There's something like truly Bergkamp about her and her ability to create. Like we talk about it being a slower football that she played with, but if she was in her prime now, she could run at the league like it's no one's problem. I just think, yeah, right foot, edge of the box. She's a killer. If you go on YouTube and you can search up like Marajan the Conductor and it'll show you like a 20-minute compilation. You don't have to watch that. If you have 3 minutes of time, watch. There was a friendly between England and Germany in 2019. Obviously, this is pre-Serena Wiegmann. 9th of November, there is a 3-minute highlight package of Marajan playing in this 2-1 win, and it's just Marajan. All the highlights are her because like you know when we talk about players, we say players have good games and then there's players who have performances. This girl is one of the greatest performers I've ever seen. Like untouchable, beautiful, Hazard, all the best of the best players I can compare her across Menso and Woso. Like they all emulate her, right? If you are the technical gifts and dribbling of Alexia before Alexia, the facilitation of Clara Bull before Clara Bull, and Clara Bull learnt from her, which is why she's such a good facilitator. And then to have the big game, the class, the moments of a player like Bonmati, I mean, like, she's genuinely one-of-a-kind footballer.
I don't know if you were watching women's football at the time, but my first introduction to Marajan was in 2016 in the Olympic game at Australia versus Germany, our 2-2 game. She didn't score in that game, but she was incredibly influential. She'd peppered Lilia Williams' goals, and I remember watching that game because, of course, if you're a Matildas fan, you remember that game. We came so close to beating the world number 2. We were winning 2-0 at that point.
Yes.
But again, you rewatch her games back, you watch her career, and the main thing I see, or the most resounding statement of a footballer, is consistency, and that's all I see from Marajan. Her consistency is exceptional, and I think that one of the things that we see now from footballers, and one of the things we expect from midfielders, is everything that Marajan laid down as a part of the foundations of her game, and that was the two-way ability, the ability to be a goal threat, but also be quite defensively secure. She's a great stature of a presence in midfield, but she herself can drift off the shoulder and be so dangerous drifting into the box. I don't think we will see another player like Marajan. These players are retiring. The Alex Pops, the Marajans, they are leaving the game. The only thing that we can have to remember them by is the fact that their legacy was able to influence the best players and our most favorite players now. There would be no Patri without someone like Marajan. There would be no Alexia without someone like Marajan. These players,
no Lindsay Heaps,
no,
that whole Lyon dynasty of players now are a testament to her ability to facilitate that genuine level of excellence. She is basically in a lot of ways the Alexia of Lyon in that way, of what she's managed to build and set the standard of. I mean, you mentioned that Rio Olympics, the game I remember in that game, as much as I didn't watch it, I'm obviously studying up on Tilly's realm, is the iconic Brazil game, the 0-0 and the penalty shootout. I mean, Lani Kennedy missing that pen, and a great save from the Brazil keeper. I forgot her name, but Marta missed a pen in that game, didn't she? But yes, Marajan. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to use my year 7 to year 10 German here. I'm gonna finish off with just a little saying that basically encapsulates how I think we both feel. But Danke Marajan, du hast den Fußball zu dem gemacht, was heute ist, und für immer Maßstäbe dafür gesetzt, was der Begriff das schöne Spiel bedeutet, which basically means Leggy, do you want to translate?
No, thank you. I got thank you. I got a thank you there.
I'll do it for you. That's all right. Basically, it means thank you, Marajan. You've made football what it is today and forever set the standards for what the term the beautiful game means to Woso forever. That's what I've said there. But yeah, Marajan, oh my God, like just watching some of the highlights, but I just remember her in like 22, 23, even like post ACL.
And she could have gone. Like the thing about it is, I think, look, to me, she's tarnished the little bit of the career that she had left after the 2021 injury, or was it 2022?
Yeah, 20.
When
I think it's 22.
When she went to Saudi, I just don't understand the move there. But she could have. She stayed at Lyon. She had the opportunity to go to the US. I think Utah.
I think it was a monetary thing. I mean,
get it. You've done it for 20 years.
I didn't really go into IDO ball for 2021, 22 was the ACL injury because she wasn't in the final. She didn't play in that Champions League final. But the Al-Qadisiyah move, I mean, obviously she weren't great in her last few seasons post. Like you just knew that post the leg. I mean, it's not like an Alexia thing, but again, when you play for Lyon, I don't really put you in the IDO ball category anyway.
You already sold your soul.
You were there. She was there pre-Kang. She was there post-Kang. Yeah, she's one of the players who earned the right to wear that number 8 badge because she was part of 6 of them, right? Six of them. Yeah, like an absolute god. And I mean, won the Algarve Cup twice as well. As much as I didn't really mention that because I don't care. But like, yeah, 5 Champions Leagues with Lyon, 1 with Frankfurt, 6 UWCLs. I mean, we talk about players like Modric and Kroos with 6 times. I mean, Randy Renard is 8, but Marajan and Renard go together like, I mean, one of the greatest spines of Woso history. So, I mean, have a great career. I don't really hold the Al-Qadisiyah against her in the sense of that the money aspect of it is probably filth. Like, it's probably a ridiculous amount of money. And ultimately, I mean, Lexi's moving to LCL. Like, you know, like...
I don't know. There's a difference between Saudi and LCL, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. 100%. Yes, from a
human rights perspective.
From a WASP perspective, yeah, 100%. But I think, yeah, no, obviously the HR, I don't disagree with that. But also, I think Marajan had like one of those extortionate contracts that's like, I don't know, the Salah level. I don't know. It's
not
a
Salah
weird
level. She's not getting
no. For the realm of Woso, it probably would have been ridiculous.
She got $3,000 for one game. She's getting the Sunday League numbers.
She's on that MPL money. No. She's on that VPL money. I reckon she would have got the maybe that Div 3 men's Saudi money where they get like a supercar plus 800k.
Because they get like a Rolex and such.
Yeah, you get all that stuff, which is crazy. Amazing. But Duncan Marajan, legend, rate you so highly. What a glorious footballer of her time and still is in terms of what she will always represent. I hope we get a Marajan regen. I know football isn't really conducive to that, but I'm here for it. But that is all we have for contracts, extensions, rumours, and retirements as we move into Woso at the World Cup. This will be the last one before the finals recap. We had Emma Hayes doing the coin toss for the Argentina-Egypt game. Salah and Messi shaking hands with the GOAT. Love that. The GOAT of Africa, the GOAT of football, and then the GOAT of Woso, the GWOAT manager, the GMOAT, the whatever, she's everything. But they were having fun. I wonder what they said to each other. Do you have any idea what they would have said?
Hello. Hi.
Hey, Leo.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Heads or tails?
Leo's like, no, she probably did this thing where she probably had like a quib at Salah about like, I don't know, like don't go too hard, don't run too hard.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It might be a you never walk alone situation. It might be that kind of vibe. But the only two referees that I haven't mentioned so far that needed a mention was Tatiana Guzman and Sandra Ramirez. The reason I didn't mention is because they're VAR referees.
Oh, so you don't count them?
VAR. Yeah, no. I do
women.
count them. I do count them if they're women. Only if they're women. But yeah, VAR refs. I mean, I'm glad you guys get a gig at the World Cup, but I mean, everyone's hating VAR anyway. I don't even need to go into my VAR hatred, which is, I mean, look. I'm here for Argentina to win it all. I hope it's rigged. I hope it's rigged. I want Messi to win a 9th Ballon d'Or. I don't really care. But the only thing that would be better than that is if Haaland and the sorry, I've got to do the
Yeah, the rowing. Yeah.
But yeah, if they win, if they beat England tomorrow, unbelievable. But I loved Caro's reaction. I love how she just has a photo of Haaland on her TV and wrote Vikingo. Vikingo. Like, and that's just the most Caro response.
I saw like a throwback image of Haaland and Caro. It might have been like 20
together. Yes, I saw that. They are good
early.
friends. They are friends. Yeah. She definitely knew that Erling was coming. I mean, I'm here for it. I mean, Caro, in my opinion, Caro's legacy is the best Norwegian player, in my opinion. Haaland is going for it, though. Haaland is on.
And
again,
Martin Odegaard.
I love that Americans love Haaland. I love that everyone loves Haaland. Leggy, my podcast partner, who is diehard Arsenal, loves Haaland, which I think everyone loves him because he's just like a little kid who's just the best, and we kind of infantilize him, which I don't like. But I love him because he plays for my football club, and everyone, my parents who don't watch football go, is he really this good? I'm like, he's better. He's better for City, guys. Come on, let's be real. And then, I mean, I played futsal this week, and I did Haaland's celebration because I scored a brace and I scored a goal. I scored no, I didn't do this.
No.
I did I just did the goal he scored against Brazil where he just looked at the goal. Yeah, he just looked away. Like, so I got thrown a ball from deep. The opposition thought I was right-footed instead of left-footed. I turned around. I managed to do a scoop half turn and shoot low-driven bottom right, and it literally hit the corner and in. It was like the best moment of my entire life. I managed to score a brace in a football match, Leggy. I think that's like worthy of podcast mention. Okay. And the problem was I did the exact same shot 5 minutes before that, and it hit the post and rolled along the line and hit the other post, went out, which was very sad. So it was good to get one back. And then everyone was like, he's done a Haaland. I'm like, I'm about in no way comparable to this Viking, but I thought that was hilarious. And then the last mention, I mean, it is a short Woso at the World Cup, but
you haven't even done
this is more like a preview.
You haven't done the Carly Lloyd crazy like spaz out on
the crash out. I did forget about Carly Lloyd losing her mind to Twitter baits. Why is she getting baited on X?
We have to preface this by saying that she is right, and I hate saying that because I think it's like, I don't know, like,
what about Pulisic?
Yeah, she's no, but she's right to call these people out. Maybe not on this particular platform because I think that you must be a bigger person.
No, but she's so much better than this.
But I
don't need her to. No, fine. You can fight the battles of misogyny. I don't mind that. But like when you're that's no. I actually don't. Not just I don't mind that. I rate that. She needs to fight. She needs to fight those, and I agree that if no one respects her, then that's different.
She doesn't have to. She just will do because she's
no. She will do because that's what it's part of it. It's part of the being involved in the Menso side of World Cup where you're going to get that coppage, and I don't like that. But also, I think the part about Pulisic is where I kind of fall a bit flat out personally.
There are players there. No, because you mentioned it earlier the fact that the women's team is naturally, financially, physically tied to the men's team means that these players, and I think as US fans, have the right to criticize somebody who says, guys, I get to rest now. I don't know if you saw the Pulisic comments.
No, but yeah,
before
no.
the
I
World
saw
Cup.
I saw Pulisic's clip. I saw what he said. It's very much taken out of that.
It's
Single
not taken out of
sentence is
context.
taken out of
He's
context.
been like
It
this
is
the whole
taken out of
time.
context.
He is not the representative that the US men's national team want, and I think that the US men's national team's
If
fans.
if Pochettino didn't want to play him,
It's
then
not
he
about
didn't
the
have
play.
to play
It's
him.
about the representation. He's the captain of the side, and he's a poor captain. That's pretty obvious coming from the
But
fact that.
but that's fine.
But we're not
that's
US
something that
fans.
you
Like,
can
we're not fans.
But you
We
can
don't
criticize.
understand.
You can criticize that he's a poor captain. That's
I think
fine.
he's a poor person.
She
I
didn't
think he's a
say
poor
that.
captain. I think that she did say that. She said
No,
that
she said a lot more than she's just a poor, like he's a poor leader. She was like,
retire
she was,
rest when you retire. That's not a
okay,
crazy
okay.
statement to
The
say.
the bloke shouldn't have been playing in the first place because he had a Lucy Bronze style leg. Like his leg
no
got
way.
absolutely snapped.
Like barely in comparison to what those players had to live through.
Did you see the extent
Yes,
of the
I
injury?
saw the extent of the injury. As your favorite US women's national team player, Sydney LaRue said, tape it up. Just tape it up. I'm sorry, I do not take that you're at a World Cup. By the way, the World Cup.
Tape up a micro fracture in his leg.
Tape it up. I don't care. These players have been through it. I think that they deserve
Oh my
as
God,
part
the
of.
guy's got a fractured leg.
then don't
Like,
play.
yeah, no. That's
If you are going to
I
play,
agree
tape
with
it
that.
up.
I agree
Instead
with
of
that.
coming
That's what
off
she should have
and
said.
sulking
That's what
the way
she should
that
have
he
said.
did.
In my opinion, if Lucy Bronze broke her leg, and this was the problem online, they were going, Lucy Bronze broke her leg, and she still played, and she played amazing. And it's like, okay, Lucy Bronze is that's not a good example. I don't think that's a good example to Woso, friends of Woso, to players, to future players in the game, to say, oh, the best players just play with snapped legs. That's not how this works. That's not what this is about. This is about a player who, yes, has a terrible attitude for a captain. I agree. He should, if he was smart and if he was actually a captain, he would have said, I actually have a leg fracture.
I don't think he knew it.
I'm not going to play. And obviously that was never going to happen because obviously stupid men have too much pride and stupid football players have too much pride to not play in finals. Aitana snapped her leg. She came back. Did she start in the final? She could have commanded to start in the final. She could have said to Romeo, I need to start in this final. I should be starting in this final. Why is Sarah Geordie starting ahead of me? What does a leader do? A leader recognizes what their position is in the game. And Pulisic is not that leader. I'm happy for them to criticize Pulisic, but to say he needs to be better with his leg in terms of
It's not about being better with his leg.
leader.
They never said that about being better with the.
Tape it up is bullshit, Leggy. Tape it up is rubbish.
No, but tape it up is not always necessarily actually tape it up. It's
Tape
also,
up his mentality, 100%.
Yeah, I just think Carly Lloyd is probably we may not agree with her from a real human level, but she's probably the best person that you can go to as a barometer for what a leader is in the US soccer system and what it is like to be at the highest
But
level.
Stop expecting the US men's national team
When
to
one
be
is tied
better
to
than
the
what they
other,
are.
Okay,
No, but
I
that's-
agree
no,
with
but
that. I
was a
definitely agree with that.
That was a collective bargaining agreement that was agreed to by both
Do you understand?
parties.
They never would have gotten the agreement if it weren't tied with the men's team. That's like saying that gender parity can only be real if the
I
men's
understand that,
improve as well.
but let's also recognize the patriarchal nature of it. If the men said no, they could have said no, right?
Men could never have said no. Come on, Ben. If the men said no,
they should. No. I'm glad. No. I'm glad they didn't. Firstly, America is a very racist country. There is very much a universe where they easily say no. There is a universe where they say no. They shouldn't. And I think I understand that being invested in them for solely the monetary aspect is different to actually being invested in them culturally.
Culturally, it has an impact on the women's game as well.
Pulisic, yes, was not playing do or die football regardless of the leg injury. He shouldn't have played. The guy had a snapped leg after the first game. He shouldn't have played. Yeah, and I agree what he said. If you take that individual sentence about I need to rest
the whole
and all
thing,
that stuff,
Ben, it's not about just that. It's the whole thing.
It looks
it's
bad.
Everything
it
from
looks
before
poor,
the tournament to now. I'm sorry, you can't. The reason why Belgium were able to shove it in the US's face wasn't because the US lost. It was because of two
the Balogun.
reasons.
It's because of everything.
It's because of two reasons. It's because Pulisic looked like an idiot in the pre-tournament friendlies doing the stupid Trump dance, thinking that he was all that, being a captain captain of a US team, and then the second one was obviously the Florian Balogun move, the Florian Balogun decision. I'm sorry, you can't, as a captain of this team.
I just like, I feel like the US men's national team should never be put in a.
It's complete hyperbole.
It's all hyperbole.
They
it's
got into
every
this
single
tournament
part
because they are there as a host nation.
They were in an easy group.
They were in an
no, because they were a host nation. You host nations get easier groups because they don't get a pot one side. They're a pot one side. They were very average against Bosnia. They were very average against Turkey.
And they were horrendous
and they were
against
very
Belgium.
average against Belgium. In fact, they were very below average against Belgium. It's not. I don't like looking at this microcosm of the game against us and the game against Paraguay and decide, oh, they're ready to take that next step. Let's be real. Football is so like
beyond the US men's national team.
So but it's not just beyond that, but it's just so like Woso is different. Woso, you have the platforms to facilitate exponential growth. You are trying to fast track generations of culture that do not exist. And the US men's national team are overcharging young academy ballers to play the same way Australia is. Honestly, Australia and the US are basically the same problem, just on a different scale compared to Japan's 100-year model, compared to Africa's countries that have much more freedom in the way in which they play. You talk to academy owners. I mean, Alexi Lalas is saying, oh, you can't just make football free for everyone to play. What a load of fucking bullshit. Do you know how much it costs to play academy ball in England? It's free. It's free.
If anything, from this World Cup, we've seen ex-US women's national team players, mostly because the current ones are not talking about this World Cup, but ex-US women's national team players explain the real problem in the women's and men's teams in the soccer program, which is the pay to play, which is the inability to make up for, yes, the generational divide, but also the fact that you can't manufacture success, you can't manufacture mentality, as something that the US women's national team...
But that's exactly right.
Okay, but that's what they've been doing. But they've been doing that for the last 20 years. They had the World Cup 30 years ago. It was the same thing. It's the same thing.
But the manufacturing of US men's mentality will always stay manufactured, whereas the US women's national team mentality is an investment the ability for other teams to invest. So they facilitated a culture that's able to be emulated, right?
Yep, I get it.
That's why like the players like Rose Lavelle and Lindsay Heaps and all that are eventually going to get superseded by the likes of Moultrie and Shaw and all these young, hungry ballers who've all gone through the ranks in a way that's conducive to them being told that they're going to win World Cups in the future and they're going to do this. Whereas if you are, I don't know, Timothy Weah, you're not thinking I'm going to win the World Cup in some time in the future. You're thinking maybe I'll win the MLS. Maybe I'll win the MLS. That's the difference. That's how isolated they are from the rest of football. And that's why I think Pulisic, yes, what he said, how he said it, ugly, bad, poor. Carly Lloyd, argue with whoever you want on X. I don't mind that. That's not the part that I think is silly. I think picking battles with gremlins online is a bit of a waste of your time.
Picking battles on the preface of sexism is a bit crazy when you voted for a sexist, but you know, there's
the real headline.
But that's the politics becomes personal, and that's the problem with American politics.
Speaking of the third player, the third person behind Jason Sudeikis and Infantino watch is Shakira, who's been at a lot of games. I reckon Shakira and her children have been at a lot of games. Madonna, I've seen her at a few games too with her new album coming out, but both are gonna be performing at the final.
With
I know
JB.
Leggy is absolutely bawling her eyes out. I think it'll be the best moment of the final for her, to be honest.
I'm putting it in the public because I've said this to my parents. Me and my parents have tried to predict what song Madonna is going to sing. So I think Bring Your Love is going to happen. The Sabrina Carpenter, I think
Surely she gets more than one, though.
So it's 5-minute slots for each artist, I believe. So I think it's Bring Your Love with the Sabrina Carpenter song. I really hope she sings La Isa Bonita because I think that would be really cool, you know, with the Hispanic flair in it. Even though, yes, it's a bit of cultural appropriation. We don't care. It was cool in the 80s. And then last, it can't be too gay, right? It can't be Vogue, right? But it could be. Maybe she walks out to Vogue, right? I'm really thinking about this.
I was surprised you haven't mentioned any of the big four right now. You just mentioned Vogue. You haven't. So Hung Up, I think you can write off. I don't think she do Hung Up. I personally think that Like a Prayer is very
She's not
World
doing
Cup
that.
coded.
She's not doing it.
I
She can't
think
do anything like that. She can't do Like a Prayer. She can't do
Why?
Like a Virgin. There's absolutely
Why?
no way she can do anything off
Like
Erotica.
a Virgin.
Yeah, she can't do
Like a
it. She
Virgin.
can't do it
She would.
because
No, I mean, I wanted
too
I wanted to
religious.
do Material Girl and then cut to
I
Michelle
thought about
Kang
Material.
and
I thought about
Infantino,
Material
right?
Girl. I
Like
did
that's
think
what I
about
want.
that.
I want Kang Fantino there for Material Girl, and then Kang can do her dance where it's like, we are living in a material.
I mean,
That would be
my
vibes. And then
2 cents.
Shakira's gonna perform Die Die, La
Yes.
La La,
Yeah.
Waka Waka, all the English songs.
And then Coldplay's gonna perform, and then JB's gonna
We
perform.
Pray.
Justin Bieber.
They perform We Pray.
Justin Bieber's gonna do, I don't know, that song that Never Say Never. 100%.
What do you mean when the referee said pen and the VAR said no?
We've done 3 podcasts without you singing. 3.
What?
3 podcasts without you singing, Ben.
Without
3.
me singing, yeah. I mean, I have no, but I mean, if Biebercella is coming in, surely it's
True.
surely you'll get Sorry, and then it'll be a sorry to Hossem Hassan, the Egyptian manager. What else could you do for him? You could do Baby. You could do
Daisies?
Baby.
He'll do Daisies or
Imagine it's Baby, but then on the big screen at the Met. Is it the MetLife? Is the final?
I think so.
Yeah, the big screen at the MetLife, they put Yamal's photo with Messi while they do Baby.
If it's a Spain-Argentina
ah.
final, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I want that to be Baby, and then it's just a photo of that. But that is all we have for. I mean, I'll call it Woso at the World Cup. It's more everything World Cup coded before the final. We might do like a very small segment next week, but that leaves us with our final segment. What would Kang do? 44. This was supposed to be such a small Kang. This is as big as it gets. Oh my god. Usually I get like little snippets of Kang here and there.
But it's a World Cup, Ben. She's everywhere.
LCL have announced Puteus. They announced Puteus. How did they do it, Leggy? Did they do it in Bromley? No. They did it in New York, where the real LCL fans are.
With the worst fucking live stream I've ever seen from a billionaire. Could she at least not afford like good mics and maybe a translator?
What do you mean? Jen Beatty, Alexia.
Catalan natural speaking Jen Beatty.
Yeah, the Catalan goat on Duolingo besides me and Jen Beatty. And Alexia with her very impressive. I mean, her English is fine. Literally, we can talk to her now, Leggy. It's so fine. I'm learning Catalan for no reason. But I would like to speak to her in Catalan, to be fair. Yes. And Aitana knows the best English in the world. Giro Walsh. Yeah, look, that was maybe, I mean, I know you didn't like the interview. For me, that was the best 51 minutes of my entire life. Honestly. You know why? Because Alexia didn't speak much. No. It was just my God.
Do you remember when Kang did the...
This is not what would Kang do. This is what Kang did this week.
Do you remember when Kang did the reinvention of LCL and like her whole thing, and she turned it to Lionesses for Leon and all that? That's what this was. It's just like that was an hour and a half. This was 51 minutes, both of which are just PR exercises. Like I could just imagine her going up to a mirror and practicing her speeches about how she's going to make women's football better.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was iconic. I mean, I had to mention, I put it on my X, but I have to talk about it straight away. So this is like we're gonna split this up, but basically this is I've called KANG44 is the interview part 2, because obviously we had that other interview that we did earlier in the year, but this is the big interview, in brackets, the Kang drinking game. So anyone who wants to indulge in the 51 minutes of greatness, I challenge you to a little drinking game. No, you don't need alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol anymore. You can just get like a nice glass of water and you'll be very hydrated by the end. But I would like you to drink. Anytime Kang mentions it's a movement, not a moment. Honestly, it didn't happen that many times. It happened a few times. But then my favorite thing is that when Alexia got asked how she feels about the move straight away, she said, "I'm so happy to be a part of this moment." What? How can you have the greatest PR moment, like business mindset, and you've told everyone that this isn't a movement, not a moment, and then your big marquee signing screws up your motto straight away. And then what I love is that the first question that Jen Beatty's asking to Kang goes, can I just appreciate this moment right now? So even her PR is falling down in the realm of movement, not a moment. I thought it was a movement, but clearly that particular interview was a moment. But question number 2, anytime Kang mentions I've got a business background, iconic. Did you know Michelle Kang has a business background?
What?
I had no idea. And also, she said that she had she had like a healthcare background as well. If you hear her say you got a healthcare background, you have to chug the drink as well as a business background together. So that's iconic stuff. I love that. That's what she
when
says,
I'm in big pharma and have a lot of money is basically
yeah, damn straight. When I'm surprised she didn't go, I have a guns and weapons background, which is more iconic to be fair. But look, number 3, drink anytime Michelle Kang has an analogy, a wacko analogy, a full-on like generational, like I'm thinking like, you know, that I forgot that Menso manager's name who did those wacky analogies from the A-League.
The Perth Glory manager with the man bun.
Yes, the Perth Glory manager. Yes. Exactly. Yes, exactly right. But basically she was comparing a football stadium and facilities to a Michelin star restaurant, which I kind of love.
TBH, her institute looks like one of those new gen, like
it looks
really,
like the menu. It looks like the menu with Rafe Bynes.
Exactly. Great comp, Ben.
It's just not on an island. Wait till Kang Island comes through. But Michelin star restaurant, I mean, I'm thinking the Bear. It's definitely the Bear. Yes, Chef Kang, but she is chefing up a serious institution right now. Number 4, anytime Kang mentions the piano, this piano story is iconic. This was like Alexis Sanchez, Sam Coffey, sit down. We have the next Chopin coming through. She learnt the piano as a child but didn't do it well, and she didn't have the foundations to learn it on her own, because it takes time and patient capital, that's how she compared the piano to Woso. Woso piano ball, which is unreal. And also, just drink anytime she says the word patient capital. I fucking love that. Again, by the way, Leggy, I'm a numbers guy. Patrick Bet-David and Michelle Kang in the same room. I think we've got a numbers guy and a numbers girl. That's what I want to see. Alexia is bigger than winning titles and qualifying for European competition. Straight shot. When you hear that, because I love that. We need to advance the sport till it stands on its own. Players earn what they are truly worth because the business of the game earns it, not because somebody or some corporation is being generous. Oh, Kang, you're so generous. I love you so much. You're so generous. I love that. I love the like just admission of like, I'm being generous here. I'm giving Alexia it's not about winning titles and qualification. I'm just being generous. I fucking love her entitlement. She is a rapacious, like horrible human being. It's so funny, but it's masked brilliantly. Her marketing, Kang marketing is maybe, again, business background. You can't argue with that. Anytime Jen Beatty's shoes are on screen, like prominent focus on the shoes, the Prada monolith loafers, by the way, like very obvious, like Google search by image. That's some Kang money shoes right there, by the way. Like anytime you think the shoes are looking divine, have a little drink of water. Or just put money. You know what? Kang would love if you just put money in the account. I reckon money in the bank account. That's what we do. Every dollar, you just put $1 into like an investment account for, I don't know, for Kaniska maybe. But yes, then and then I just have some weird moments. I have some awkward moments. There's an iconic moment of like, you just see Alexia every time she's asked a question, she just says she wants to be the best. I love that. My heart melts. It's a shame that she might genuinely win. I love that she said she wants to play week in, week out. And she's trying to get better. She wants to play week in, week out. Shame she might win a player of the year in a side that finishes maximum fifth. But I'm here for that. I'm here for Alexia PR. I hope she plays as well as she can play, and I hope Kang realizes that she'll be at Lyon very soon. but yes, then there are a few things left. A lot of Chen Beatty, cruel human being, asking a lot of players protect their legacy at this stage, but you went the other way. That is a horrendous thing to say. That is, I mean, obviously I can't say it as well as her because I don't have that magnificent Scottish accent, which is like the best for interviews. Obviously, I'm kind of glad Jen did this. And also Jen and Puteas have this love-in with each other that goes back years, obviously, to the first game that they played each other in the Champions League and Jen Beatty scored. But then we have the coaches. When looking for LCL Spirit and Lyon coaches, Kang says, there aren't that many coaches available at the highest level. The good ones are already taken. The last thing I want to do is steal from each other. We want to grow the park. And we tried to hire coaches from the men's teams, like Geraldez, Gonzalez, and Maestra. 3 Spaniards, all from Woso teams, by the way. But we don't want to steal anyone from each other.
Already from your team. You're stealing from your own team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's stolen from Barca Women's as well. So, like, yeah, we're not stealing from each other. We want to grow the park. We want to destroy Barcelona, but we want to grow the park. Yeah, coaches said that she said that coaches said that men only have attention span for 5 minutes, but women need 20 to 30 minutes for explaining what we do, but also why we do it.
It's like a feminist TED Talk from 2017.
Yeah. We have to explain to women why we do it. Is this why this video was 51 minutes? Is it so women would watch it and like know why Alexia is moving, not just what we're doing. It's not just about what Kang's doing; it's why Kang is doing it. Yeah, women. And look, I'm non-binary, so I can't speak for men here, but I watched this 51-minute video nearly twice. I fucking loved it. So maybe she'll know how to coach non-binary, gender diverse football teams in the future. With going over things twice for 51 minutes is the key. But the last but not least, probably my most iconic moment is Kang talking about MRI machines for top Premier League teams on site. She said that she wanted to know what the best clubs in the world have, and then further asked about whether Kang clubs. She got asked by her guy, was like, do Kang's clubs have these machines exclusively, or are there machines that clubs need that men don't? She full on malfunctioned like a really bad MRI machine. She was like, I know it was clearly a European team that had it. I seen only one team that had like a mini clinic, and it was not a top Premier League team. And I didn't visit all the Premier League teams in the US. Having machines needs all different regulations, blah, blah, blah. But then went on a tangent about coaches and the difference between men and women. So like she full on dodged like a true politician genius should. I mean, she full on got called out on her waffle. She said the 100 differences between the way a men's clinic or men's team runs and a women's team runs, which I agree, it's just not your job. Your job is the capital.
No,
mate.
well, that's the whole point. Like, she thinks that she can fix, whether it be women's football, whether it be the clubs that she has enveloped. She believes she can fix them. But really, the answer to those things that she's fixing are the only thing that she can actually contribute, which is financial help. And at some point, there needs to be an obvious like separation between like, you're going to fiscally help us, like you're going to give us money, but we actually don't need the new MRI machines. Michelle, get out of the Spurs camp, come to London City. You're on the wrong side of London, Michelle.
Yeah, mate, Bromley Ball is about to go crazy. But this interview, if anyone wants to watch it, genuinely one of the most entertaining 51 minutes of content. She is just I love the way she was butting in on Alexia as well to add things in. The idea, the goal is Champions League qualification. She said it, Leggy, qualification, not she's gonna fight UEFA all the way tooth and nail, because that's what my goat does. That's what Michelle does. Michelle will not stop until the movement is no longer a moment. My goat, Michelle, my God, Yong Mi is on the Yong way. But that is all we have for What Would Kang Do? And that is all we have for the podcast this week. I mean, that is all we have. We have an absolute monster for you this week, but that, you know why? Because that's what we do. That's what Leggy and I do every week. We cover Woso in a way that no one else can. Yes, people are talking about the World Cup. Yes, people can talk about NWSL, but who's talking about all the other leagues, the top 7 leagues, all the international games, international youth games? Yep, we don't miss you. We don't miss you because we love Woso. We love chatting about it, games, analysis, fun stuff, skits, everything. We are on Spotify and YouTube for full audio, visual podcasts, respectively. On Instagram, we do all our announcements and little nibbles and stories, and then TikTok for all our short form magical content. I mean, Leggy, we're about to hit 45. We're very close to 50, 52. We're nearly up on the year, but the reason we do this, I mean, we just cover it at a rate that's just insane because that's what we do. It's for the love of the game, the same way that players put the time and effort into their craft is the way we put effort into our game, because we don't just cover every second of Woso or every minute or every hour or every day of Woso. We cover every week. Every week. Thank you all so much for listening. Yes, it's not a 51-minute Kang interview, but keep warming those chairs, keep warming those benches. Have a great week.